Hello everyone, my name is Liliana and my topic was Notes on Sociology of Bullying, Young Men's Homophobia as Gender Socialization by C.J. Pascoe. It is true that over the past several years we have heard too many tragic stories of young people taking their lives due to bullying, specifically homophobic bullying. This article suggests that paying critical attention to inequality might be best accomplished through the development of sociology of bullying. A sociology of bullying would frame these aggressive interactions not necessarily as the product of pathological individuals who are ill adjusted socially, but as the interactional reproduction of larger structural inequalities. A sociology of bullying would shift the unit of analysis from the individual to the aggressive interaction itself, attend to the social context in which bullying occurs, ask questions about meanings produced by such interactions, and understand these interactions as not solely the province of young people. Using men homophobic interactions as a particular case study, this article will trace the current academic discussion of bullying, examine the meaning-making processes in young men's homophobic bullying, and outline a sociology of bullying. Framing bullying. Bullying behaviors are related to age, class, peer group, emotional state, gender, and self-esteem. Bullying practices vary by age, peaking during middle school years, then decreasing with age. Group norms and individual attitudes also influence bullying-related behaviors. Bullies are often popular, high-status individuals who are school leaders, especially in early adolescence. Boys are more often the victims of bullying than girls. Boys are more likely to engage in physical and verbal types of bullying. There are marked gender differences in bullying practices. Simply put, boys bully more than girls in both on and offline environments. Homophobic bullying. When looking at young men's understandings and enactments of masculinity, it becomes increasingly clear that behaviors that look an awful lot like bullying are a central part of their socializing process. A young men's homophobic practices often take a form of a fag discourse, consisting of jokes, taunts, imitations, and threats through which boys publicly signal their rejection of what is considered unmasculine. Being a subject to homophobic harassment has much to do with failing at masculine tasks of competence, heterosexual proneness, and or revealing weakness as it does with sexual identity. A sociology of bullying and structural inequalities. Reframing boys' homophobic bullying as a fag discourse indicates that homophobic bullying, rather than stemming from emotional distress, bad home lives, a lack of education, or deep disdain from same-sex desire, etc., is the normative part of boys' gender socialization process. When boys are engaging in homophobic bullying, they are teaching each other lessons about what it means to be masculine in ways that reflect legal and cultural disparities. A sociology of bullying indicates that these sort of aggressive interchanges functions as interactional reproductions of structural inequalities. A sociology of bullying would first address the sort of things in which kids get bullied. Simply put, kids get bullied for being different, but these differences are not neutral. Interactions, not identities. Currently, most research on bullying focuses on individuals. Who is likely to bully? Who is likely to be bullied? Although popular stories about bullying often show aggressive, indeed scary forms of youth aggression, these messages about masculinity frequently appear in seemingly friendly interactions among boys and young men. If we start to think about these sort of interactions as these things that also happen within friendships, we can begin to understand how they are not individual but collectively ritualized. Homophobic bullying is not just about one kid beating up on another, but something that boys do together. Bullying is better understood when boys are seen as acting out structural and cultural inequalities in their interactions. Pascal mentions organizations like Gender Just, the Silva Rivera Law Project, and Queers for Economic Justice. These organizations focus on addressing structural inequalities regarding gender and sexuality from an intersectional approach. Instead of waiting for school bullying to get better or seeing gay marriage as a solution to IL's homophobia, they recognize that oppressions are linked and that fighting one necessarily means challenging others. In the end, Pascal suggests that specific anti-bullying interventions are short-sighted and that programs, organizations, and curriculums that focus on emotional literacy, social injustice, and equalities offer more effective ways of addressing the social change than programs focusing on specific prevention measures. Thank you all for your time.